Hey, welcome back to another video, guys. My name is Floyd, and this here is another video I had to redo because of technical difficulties. But I'll tell you as much as I remember when I did this video. And once again, my apologies for me sniffing and stuff because I got a cold. Is the weather, so it changes a lot. It's fluctuates a lot in Cape Town, so it kind of messed with me and my sinuses and so on. Anyways, this video was in February. I went to Dominican Republic, which is Santo Domingo. Well, Santo Domingo, I think, is a city, right? And Dominican Republic is the country, or DR. Yeah, so I stayed right in this area. So I was walking through, going to like of the back part of this little cafe, and I was talking in this video about the Airbnb that I stayed in, which was like just like a block from right where this cafe is, and right there to the right that is Bikini Hotel. Because I remember I wanted to stay there, but I prefer to go. I choose the other direction because the water is in the other direction. So yeah, and this is some kind of cathedral or something like that. Because they do have a lot of these structures in Santo Domingo, and some of them are well kept, and there are lots of like low wiring and stuff. I'm pointing there. I'm not sure what I'm pointing at. Well, I'm thinking there was like noise behind me. There was like bikes or something. They were loud noise. So I think I was asking my friend about if there was like a bike or something behind me. Anyways, so Santo Domingo still have that colonial those structures and look, right? So they maintain a lot of those structures. um but anyways, let's get to what I was talking about here. I was talking about the Airbnb. So the Airbnb that I stayed in, uh it was price fair and all of that. uh I could have seen the water, but what I did not like about the Airbnb, which the video of the Airbnb is like at the end of this video, because the Airbnb was like a separate video, but I put clips in this video. And what I liked about the Airbnb, they had like really tall roof, like from floor to ceiling was pretty tall, right? It was about 12 feet, 16 feet. I'm not too sure. If I had to guess, I'd say 16, but I don't think 16 is actually a number that of I don't think that's the right number for building codes, right? I'm thinking building codes are like 8 feet walls, 10 feet, 12 feet, something like that. Don't know much about building, but I think 16 sounds a lot. Um, just thinking of that. Yeah. So I like that it was pretty high. The bathroom and stuff, they were like really really nice. What I did not like, the water. I didn't like the water situation because we had to call the owner. The owner had to send out some guy to turn the water on because like we were allowed only certain amount of water to use, right? Like here in South Africa, where I'm at right now, they have, like load shedding issues, right? And you have like sometimes you have to buy electricity. You have the stuff on your wall and all of that, right? So it's the same thing in Santo Domingo when it comes to water. It's either that or they have like this tank on top of their houses with water, or I'm not sure if they have like boreholes, like in Africa have boreholes. Maybe they do. I am not too sure, but if I had to guess, I would say maybe they do. Anyways, so here I think the waitress was talking to me and she spoke to me in English, and she's from Haiti and she speak English, Spanish, and French. Yeah, so she was talking to me and I was like pretty impressed with her English, and I asked her where she learned English. She said she learned English right there going over to Dominican Republic, and she learned from being around people that speak English, which I think was awesome. So back to I'm sorry, I'm back and forth, right? So back to the apartment. So the water situation I didn't like. Now they have bars everywhere. Like most of the buildings, even behind me there, it'll be to the right of the screen, the Bikini Hotel, there is bars on all of the windows, lots of bars everywhere in Santo Domingo. So I'm thinking because of either burglary or um, what else a bar could be. I don't know, kind of send jail vibes too, right? Jail vibes. So anyway, I didn't like that aspect of it. There are too many bars everywhere, and the bars take away the look of those nice preserved colonial building. You know, because some of them are really really nice, right? And you know, speaking. Oh, okay. I just wanted to talk about I want to talk about the museum a little bit, but let me focus on what I'm saying right now. So yeah, so what else with the Airbnb? They were very responsive. The owner was very responsive. There were lots of noise. It seems like people in Dominican Republic, they party like all the time. I just think it's a cultural thing. Not party all the time. They just play music loud and a lot, right? Because in New York, if you go to the Bronx, where there's a lot of, or up in Washington Heights, a lot of Dominican Republic, you know, sometimes they open the car and they have the speakers back there, or they have their radio out and the guys playing dominoes and whatever, and you know, so they're big music lovers. So I didn't like that part during this day, because they play music like from morning until next morning. It's like it never stopped, especially where I stayed, right? And then in the Airbnb, there are two rooms, and my room was at the front. So it's two stories, but it sounds like it's right there in my ear, right? And the roads are very very tiny as well. And when the car passes, like the car is right by my bed. That's why I feel like the car just passed me by my bed, right? So that part of it I didn't like as well, with the Airbnb. But that's all I could remember. There's a few other stuff. I'm sure the Airbnb video is up, and you know, when I go to places, I'll document first before I make a video. So I think the video is probably somewhere in the channel, right? Yeah. So I visited the museum in Santo Domingo. Okay, so I visited the museum, but not daytime, right? Which is weird because there weren't much time. So the evening I passed by, and you know, we just like looked through the windows, right? And there was like restaurant around and so on. I was hanging out with these guys, and they showed me around where they live and all of that. I had an experience. I've been to this restaurant, and they gave us a menu, and the menu that they gave us had one price. Because I remember I ordered a shrimp fried rice, and it was a juice or something. My friend ordered what did he order? Whatever he ordered at that time. But they gave us this menu, and the total was 600, right? Because we saw the price and everything, and we settled for that. Now when it's time to pay, they bring a whole different menu with the price triple, right? I think it went to like 17 or 1800 of their money. So I was like, what the hell is this? But it came up to, like, in US dollars, whatever. Maybe the number I'm giving is not precise, but I could tell you in US dollars how much it was. It was $37, right? So whatever that is in peso, that was the price for a juice, a shrimp fried rice. I think my friend had a burger. Yes, I think he had a burger and a soda as well. So that was 37 US dollars. So it was a big rip off, because they realized we were foreigners. Obviously, my friend is Caucasian, right? So they just exchange, probably talk about it inside, and but that's kind of bad for business. And they were like, cops are wrong and stuff, but strange in people country, you just like, you know what, let's leave that alone. And so yeah, that was another experience I did not like. There's another experience walking down the street, and I find a lot of people are, well, okay, it's not one of the best developed country, right? So you'll expect a little bit of poverty here and there, right? But there are like so many young kids, like they offer to shine your shoes and those kind of stuff, right? But You might say no, and I would I always tip, right? It's just a New York thing. People in New York tip all the time, so I just tip, right? Even though I'll tell them no, I don't want it, but I'll just give them the tip, right? But sometimes you say they don't want it, and they could be so persistent. They wouldn't stop walking behind you. They just walk behind you, and I'm like, this is kind of ridiculous a little bit because you're like, I think no is universal. No matter what language you speak, I think no is no, right? But some of them just don't get it. But overall, they stay in Dominican Republic was really cool. I visited. I think I put a video here as well. Boca Chica Beach, which is really nice. It was a situation there too where people keep coming and bugging you, selling stuff, selling Viagra and all this kind of stuff. And I asked the dude, if that was like normal. Um, what other experience? I saw a guy on a motorbike with he was carrying like furniture, and I think that was like super funny. How people you know make use of whatever transportation they have, and they did have a lot of cars and stuff too. So the motorbikes was kind of faster. You know faster transportation to get around because of traffic. Because obviously when there's traffic jam, it's easy for motorbikes to like go in the corners and the pavement and however they maneuver traffic. So yeah. One thing else, which is very important, uh, when I visited Santo Domingo. So um, in New York, well, I went through Jersey actually because I flied. What did I fly? Continental, not Continental, United, right? And so you have to fill up these forms when you go into a foreign country, right? But now you do it online. So apparently, it let us fill out the form coming back to the United States, but not the form entering the country. So when we got there, it was a little hassle, but we weren't the only people with that situation. For some reason, the system wasn't working. So when we got there, we had to wait, and we went into a different line. Had like 100 people just pile up there. No one is moving because they couldn't get the whatever system to work. So eventually, some supervisor guy came, and he just let us go. Just like said, go to that line, whatever line, and just stamp our passport and let us through. And yeah, but leaving it wasn't an issue when it come to that, since like I said, we had that part already figured out. That part went through when we did that in New Jersey. So leaving Santo Domingo, I hate my experience leaving. I was just wearing my hoodie. I wasn't even wearing a vest under the hoodie or a t-shirt, just my hoodie on my body, right? Because it's hot, so I didn't want to wear like other shirt on that. Didn't want to sweat. So when you have to go through this scanning thingy, So I told the TSA guy, well, not TSA there. I don't know what they call them. I don't know. Airport security people. Yeah. So I told him, and I show him, I raised my shirt up like I'm not wearing anything under. And he was like, he don't care. So they make me take my hoodie off, and I walk through with my body exposed to the stuff. And I really didn't like that. They might as well ask me to take my pants off too and just walk through naked, because I think that was the dumbest and stupidest thing. Like, I show him, you just have to like maybe pad me down or pat me down or however you say that, come and frisk me or whatever, like, but he made me take my shirt off, and I walked through that stuff with my body exposed to the x-ray thingy, and I really didn't like that. But once again, I didn't want to, when you're in a foreign country, I don't want to argue and make things difficult because you just want to get out. And yeah, I didn't like that part at all. That experience really sucks. Also, they did ask about if you if your bags were with you at all time, if anyone packed your bag before you get to the airport, and anyone have any access to your luggage, But I think those are like procedural questions they would ask, right? Because yeah, some countries do ask that, especially if they have, um, some kind of repetition for, you know, illegal stuff happening and so on. So I think that was okay. Asking that question. So this here is the apartment, the Airbnb, and the price for the Airbnb. I remember it was under 400, and it wasn't bad for the 5 nights or 6 nights that we spent. And I think this is the front room where I stayed. It was like closer to the road, and not sure if I mentioned, but there's a lot of electrical wire and stuff. Like walking on the street, like there's some parts of the area I stayed. Name is Zona Colonial. There's some parts the wires are pretty low. And I'm a short person. And I could stretch my hand above my hand, and my finger, like my middle finger, which is the longest finger in your hand, could actually touch those wires, right? And those wires are electrical wire, and you know you don't know if there is any electricity, any current exposed, and so I find that a bit dangerous. But I think people just like they're accustomed to it, so it maybe don't bother them, because I don't see anyone with like you know complaining or looking or whatever. So they just maybe just good with that. So this, I think this is the other. Is this the other bathroom? No, I think this is the one I stayed. Because yeah, this is the one. Oh, let me tell you something about this too, which I didn't like. So that window is all the way to the top, right? And above that window is like a platform or a patio or whatever, but it's made out of all iron bars as well. And so when you sit in taking a dump, like you look up, you could see people looking down at you, which was the other dumbest thing ever. Right? I didn't like that too. I'm like, wait a minute, the hell is this? And then the windows all the way to the top. You can't go put a curtain there. So I find that really, really strange. So I just pan around in my friend's room, and then I get out of there, because I just want to show you guys what we got for what's, I don't remember, 360, 70, not too sure. But these places mostly, you pay for the water, right? And that's the water. Water was right there. It was like you could look from the patio window, and you could just see that there. But here we were like at this restaurant, and we just grabbing, I don't know, a drink, lunch, or something. I don't remember what time of the day it was, but obviously it's day, right? Afternoon, because the sun kind of looked like it was about to set. So yeah, so that basically was my Santo Domingo trip. And once again, please forgive me for this voice, but I'm getting much better. The weather just threw me off a little bit, because it's warm, and then it's windy, and then it's cold, and it just messed with me a little bit. But this restaurant was really, really nice though, and those two guys and me hang out and so on. And yeah, and that would be it for this video, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with at least one friend. And there's lots of other videos I'll be posting up soon. I just need a few more days, and yeah, I have lots of content, and I can't wait to share them with you guys. And yeah, you guys take care, and yeah, have a good one wherever you are. And yeah, peace. Bye.